when I went down to Latin America, I was able to take leave down there, and I spent about 3.5 weeks researching what was really happening. And it's far worse than we can imagine. We're lucky, here in Ukraine, we have a group called the Bolivar Battalion, and it's made up of Venezuelan freedom fighters. They understand how bad communism is. They understand how terrible Maduro is, how terrible what's going on in Nicaragua and Cuba. And these are all areas that are within the Russian sphere of influence. When I was in Mexico City, I went and visited the Russian embassy. I did a live broadcast from outside there. Russia has RT on 3 different channels in Mexico. Since I returned, I also found out, and this came directly from the head of the Mercenary Committee of the United Nations for High Committee on Human Rights, that Wagner is recruiting in Mexico. Wagner is recruiting in Peru. They even named some of the organizations that they're recruiting. We know they're recruiting in Venezuela. We know they are trading Cuban soldiers for money. And we also know that they're recruiting in Colombia. And so it's truly this virus of Ruski Mir. And that's when I returned, I did a quick stop off in my home country, in the United States. And this came up, what's going on down there in Panama. I was in Panama, I was in Guatemala, and in Mexico. And my statement was this: President Zelensky is leading the world in this global fight for freedom, liberty, and liberation. It's all tied in together. So what we're seeing in Africa, what we're seeing in the Americas, and what we're seeing, as I stated, across the Mid and Far East, all tie in together to the war that we're fighting in Kharkiv, to the war that we're fighting in the Donbass. When we liberate Crimea, and we will liberate Crimea, when we liberate Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, all of Kherson, when we stop the terrorism here in Ukraine, you're going to see the rest of the world become more free. No doubt about it,